Well, happy Tuesday, everybody, and welcome. This is Shawn, your summer intern here at Holy Trinity, and for this week's video, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about what it is to be a seminarian, what we go through. And I've been asked questions along that line quite a bit here during my time at Holy Trinity this summer, so I thought I'd make a video on that. So, in a nutshell, for young guys who haven't been through college yet, for them to start this process and go all the way through to ordination, it's a 9-year process. They got to do 4 years of college, plus then they do 4 years theology studies, and plus a pastoral year. So a total of nine years for those guys. For guys like me who already have a bachelor's degree in something other than philosophy, it's a 7-year process. We got to do 2 years to knock out the requirements for essentially a bachelor's in philosophy on top of our previous college coursework. And then we do 4 years of theology and 1 year as a pastoral year. So I'm on that 7-year plan myself. And then for the guys who have the foresight to get a bachelor's degree in philosophy, well, it's only 5 years for those guys. They do their 4 years philosophy, 4 years theology, and 1 year as a pastoral year. So whether you're on the 5-year plan or the 9-year plan, it's kind of a long process, but it's one that goes amazingly fast at the same time because we're so busy up there on the hilltop. That's what we call Mount Angel Seminary, the hilltop. Life goes by so fast up there. The last 2 years I've been there has just gone by like a blur for me. Very, very fast pace, and I expect the remaining 5 years will probably go by at roughly the same pace for me as well. So that is how long it takes. Now, the other question I've been asked is about how many of you guys who start this process actually make it all the way through. That's a really good question. The average, I've been told, and so far my observations kind of bear this out too, is about 1 in 4 who start the process make it all the way through. But that takes in a couple of real extremes. You have one extreme of really young guys coming into the seminary, I mean straight out of high school, for example, or just a few years out of high school, who are part of that starting that 9-year process. I've been told that only about 1 in 10 of them actually make it all the way through that process, which seems like a terrible odds, but it's about 1 in 10. And most of those guys, they'll do something we call discerning out, where they discern, okay, I haven't lived life long enough. I haven't lived enough life on my own. I think there's areas in my life that I need to explore, such as marriage, the vocation of marriage, and so they, quote unquote, discern out. And so consequently, very few of them actually make it all the way through. And then you take the other end of that extreme, kind of the extreme that I'm on. It's the older guys coming into this vocation. About 1 in 2 make it through the process. And these are guys who are on the 5 or 7-year plan, and they're getting into it much later in life. So, we tend to have a little bit better odds there of making it through, about 1 in 2. Not as many of us discern out. And then, if you draw those two averages together, it comes out to about 1 in 4. Now, I've been talking so far about guys who discern out. That is, they elect to leave on their own. There's always, every year, a few guys who are asked to leave due to formation issues. And, I think maybe for next week's video, I'll talk about what those formation issues are. The formation issues, the formation areas that we get judged by as we're going through seminary. So I'll probably talk about that next week. Anyway, I hope you all have a great week and hope this was informative for you. And we'll see you next week.